Alright, what's up? I'm gonna go over basically just BIOS modding AMD cards, but I might end up doing everything as far as setting up from beginning to end. But it's basically just for setting up the 400 and 500 series AMD cards to mine Trtl. So you get your card in the mail or go to the store and buy it. Hook it up to your computer, plug it in the PCI Express slot, turn on your computer. You're going to need to download the AMD drivers from the AMD website. So I'm on my gaming PC right now, not on my rig. My rig's got 5 RX 550s, or I'm sorry, 6 RX 550s. And on this computer, it's only got a RX 488 gig. So we're gonna go. What am I doing? Drivers and support, and then you're gonna go pick your driver that you want to download. So where's the? I took the 400 series off here. I guess these will work. No. No. Alright, so there we go. Oh, this is also for Windows 10 only. I don't know shit about Linux, so, but I think the BIOS mod stuff is about the same. I've already got all this stuff installed. I'm just kind of showing you where to go. You download these, you install them, you restart your computer, and then you can get started with the BIOS stuff. There's a couple things you need to download. You need to download this BIOS editor, and I'll put all these links in the chat after we get done. But this Polaris Bios editor, it's going to allow you to change and mod your BIOS. You need to download that. You need to download ATI Flash. It's going to allow you to flash your card, and it also allows you to save your original BIOS that comes on your card, just in case you're running any trouble. You can flash it back to the original. And then once you flash your card, your computer's not going to recognize your card anymore unless you use this pixel patcher that basically patches the drivers, doesn't touch the hardware of your card at all. It just makes the computer think that the card is running on the regular drivers and not modded. So and the reason for doing the BIOS mod is to increase hash rate. There's not really a reason to do a BIOS mod on the Vegas because they're already set up for mining. So yeah, alright. So what we need to do now is, my card's already modded. Oh, almost forgot. You need to download this too, GPU-Z. This is basically just going to show you all the information about your card. It'll show you the GPU clock and memory. I think on my card, the original clock was like 1272 or something. So the GPU clock, the core clock is not really going to be a huge factor in mining for the Trtl coin, but the memory will a little bit. And on the 550 cards, that's a different story. But a good rule of thumb is you can pretty much leave this the same as the stock. You can do probably up to plus 50 if you want to make a little bit of a difference. The memory clock, stock for this card, 1750. So 300 was as high as I could get it stable and still maintain an undervolt of this. The original voltage for the card is like 1.2 volts. I think that's a standard for most cards anyway. But okay, so what you want to do first, you want to run the ATI WinFlash. You have to run it as administrator to get it to work. And what you want to do first is save your BIOS, your original BIOS. So just save it as, I don't know, original BIOS, and just save it wherever you want to. Like I said, just in case you run into any kind of issues. So that's saved on the desktop. Okay, so we can exit out of this now. You're actually going to use this when you open Polaris BIOS editor to make your new BIOS. This is going to pop up. This is just telling you it's going to mess up if you don't use the pixel patcher, but we're going to use that, so we don't need to worry about that. All right. This BIOS editor is very easy to use. Basically, you just click Open BIOS, go to the BIOS we just saved, and it's going to bring up all this stuff. All right. So the main thing when you're editing your BIOS are these timing straps. As you can see, mine are already modded from the 1500 straps on. But with this one-click timing patch, it's going to automatically select the best timing strap and then replace the ones above it to make your card faster. So basically, you're just going to click this. It's going to say, it's going to tell you what kind of memory you have, where the best straps are found at, and then they'll copy those and paste them to the ones above it. But I don't need to do that. It's already done. And as you can see, I've already modded these, added plus 300 to the memory, and I really didn't mess with this, I don't guess. I left the core the same. I just changed the voltage. Now the voltage is a big deal too, because I think stock this card, the voltage is going to run like, or the, I'm sorry, the wattage is going to be like 130 to 140. And I think with these settings, I've got it down to about 94 watts at the wall. I do have a kilowatt meter to measure wattage, but I'll show you in GPU-Z. It's pretty accurate how to tell what you're pulling. But if you do want to change these, I can go over that in a different stream. It's really not much to it. I can't remember what the original values were, but I know it's like 5 or 6 numbers. Anyway, all right, so you do that. This is the only thing that really matters if you're not worried about power or anything like that. It's the one-click timing patch. Do that. Save as, save whatever you want to save it as. Save. Okay, you're good. You're going to go back here to the ATI Win Flash. You're going to run it as administrator. Yes. You know, load image. You're going to go to whatever BIOS you had, and then you're going to hit program. It's going to take about, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds to say it's doing it. Then say it's completed, flash the BIOS, and tell you to restart. Don't restart yet. Before you restart, you need to open up your pixel patcher. And it's going to come up and it's going to show the drivers are found. It's going to say found drivers, would you like to patch? Mine are already patched, so I don't need to, but you just hit yes, I want to patch, and it'll say the drivers are patched. And then you restart your computer, and once you come back, if everything's good, you should have modded your card. And what that's going to do, let's go now to the XMR STAK. When you download XMR STAK, it's going to automatically, here, I'll just show you. I'll just delete this AMD file out of here and the CPU file. Okay. So when you download XMR STAK the first time, you just go ahead and run it. It'll automatically make a config file for your CPU and your card. So that's cool. You want it to do that because then you can edit it afterwards, because the way you're going to get the most hash is editing your config after you've done the BIOS mod. So that's running it to config, set up that configuration. So I'm going to exit out. We're going to go back in here. We're going to go in here. We're going to change this. So the cards, they're different. Each card's different. Depends on what memory it is. You've got Hynix memory, Micron memory, elpida memory, and Samsung. Samsung's the best. Hynix is the worst. So it's just random luck of the draw on what you're going to get. But with this 480, I've got Samsung, so I got pretty lucky with that. As you can see, it sets the intensity to, or the config to intensity 864, which is okay, but it's only got one thread. Using one thread, you're still, with the BIOS mod, you're still going to get around, I don't know, probably 780 hash, 800 hash. But with this card, with the Samsung memory, I can get about 1025. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to run it at 2 threads. And with this particular card, I can change the intensity to 1000. And then all we're going to do is just copy this part of the config, paste it here, and now I have 2 threads. If you have more than one card, this index part right here, all you're going to do is you can copy and paste all of this, and for each card you just change the index to 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 and so on. And you're going to have to play around with the intensity a little bit. I know the 570s and 580s are a little bit trickier. Their intensity levels and stuff are kind of weird, but anywhere from intensity from like 800 to 1000 on the 4 gigabyte, 470, 480, 570, 580 is what you want to use. I also use this new feature too, the chunked memory. And in order to enable the chunked memory, you need to change the strided index to 2. Mem chunk 18. And that's it. We should be good to go. Save. Okay. Boom. And CPU config automatically sets it up for the best. I don't really mess with this anymore. For my CPU, I have a 6700K. This is the perfect setup for it. Alright, so let's run the miner. And I'm going to open GPU Z2 so you can kind of see what the wattage is for this card. And I'm going to pull up Wattman here in a second. We'll go over that. Like you see, I have a static difficulty of 28,000. I don't use the with the difficulty adjust on its own because it's a lot better just to figure out what static difficulty is best. But when you're in here, you can hit H and it'll show you what you're pulling up. My hash rate on my CPU is low right now because I'm running all this shit, but it's usually 6700K at non-overclocks like 320 hash. But as you can see, my AMD card's getting around 1000. It's usually a little bit higher, but like I said, I'm live streaming right now, so it's going to be a little bit lower. Still, 1000 hash. I paid $250 for this card, so it's pretty solid. And on this side, it'll show you, what it's running at. Then here's the wattage. To get your wattage at the wall, this is pretty accurate. You're going to add your GPU only power draw and your voltage power draw. Add those together. That's pretty much what you're getting at the wall. This card pulls at the wall, I think 98-ish. I can undervolt it a little bit more. I can get it down to below 1, but it crashes, so I just leave it at this and let it run. It's going to fluctuate a little bit too. That's what kind of pushes it up to 100. But it'll run 57, 37, so 94. But it'll fluctuate a little bit. But the best thing to get is just get a wall electricity monitor if you're really worried about your power. And I'll show you my Wattman settings. Oh, I forgot a really important aspect. So if you're using the new drivers, like we went to the website and did, you're gonna have to go into your settings. Let's start over. All right, when you open this up, Radeon settings, you're gonna go to global settings. You're gonna go to GPU workload. Originally, this is gonna say graphics on here. You need to change it to compute, or you're gonna be shit up creek on hash. What this does is just puts it in compute mode for mining. You can also just leave it here if you game too. I game on this computer, so I just leave it in compute all the time. But if you don't change this, it's gonna suck. So you need to do that. Sorry, I forgot about that part. If you use the blockchain drivers, it's basically just these drivers in compute mode all the time. There's no hash difference that I've noticed with my 480 card or my 550s. I've used the blockchain and the newest AMD drivers, same hash. So depending on what operating system you have, you might have to use a different driver. I know Linux kind of sucks for AMD cards, so let me I hear you guys talking in here. Oh, no, it's just one person. So, what was I going to do? All right, global Wattman. These are my current settings. This is what I use. A lot of people like to use Afterburner. I like to use this because everything's right here, and you can adjust your megahertz, your core and your memory speeds all right here. You can see real values. You can also adjust your voltage here. This is how I tuned all my cards. Like I said, I can get it lower to about, I don't know, I think I got it down to like 960 once, but with errors. 950 on the MEM voltage is what I found stable. The main thing, when you load your cards, the fans will not automatically turn on. You'll have to come in here and set your fan speeds before you start your miner, because it's gonna have a max of like 90 Celsius, which is insane. But I like to run my cards at 60 degrees or less. It's pretty easy with Kryptonite algorithm. That doesn't run very hot anyway, but this card runs about, as you can see, about 56 at these current settings. Fans probably about 60%. But I use 54 target 60, keeps it around 55. And my 550s run at like 50 degrees Celsius, so they don't run very hot at all. They pull about 32 to 33 watts at the wall and get about 450 to 490 hash each. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's more to it. If you are running multiple cards, you're gonna have to do a couple Windows settings changes as well. You can just right click down here, the Windows, go to settings, type in advanced. I don't know, where's it at? Advanced Windows. Oh, where is it gone? System settings. Well, I probably should have looked at this before I did this. I need to go to advanced system settings so I can change the virtual memory, but I don't know. Where it is now. Am I retarded? I think I'm retarded. Do you guys know? I can't remember. But anyway, all right, we can go to this. Power and sleep options. You don't want your computer to cut off while you're mining. That just sucks. So you want to go to settings, system, power and sleep, additional power settings, change it to high performance. That should fix that problem, but you need to change these to put the computer to sleep to never, go into advanced power settings. Make sure your hard disk is set to 0 as well. Your PCI Express card is setting off. I think when you switch to high performance, it automatically does that. So I need to figure out how to get to system settings. Told you I'm a noob, man. I just did all this a couple days ago. Ah, there it is. View advanced system settings. Being a pain in the dick. Alright. Performance. This is what we want to go to so we can change the virtual memory. Virtual memory is just going to allow you to run more than 4 cards on your computer. You're also going to have to do a change in your BIOS. I can't really show you that, but basically in your BIOS there's an option under your PCI Express settings to enable 4G encoding. That's going to allow you to get more than 4 cards on your computer. You've got to put that in there if you got 4 or more. But anyway, settings, adjust for best performance, go to advanced. This is where your virtual memory is. You want to change this, just whatever drive your Windows is installed on. This is what you need to change it to. I only have 1 card on this computer, so I don't really have to have a lot, but you just want to go in here and change this to, I'll just go ahead and change it. Initial size, whatever you want, whatever. The maximum size, you need to make at least 16,000 megabytes, 16 gigs. I know with the Vegas, they want you to do like at least 8,000 megabytes per card. So 8 gigs per card. So if you're running 4 Vegas, you need 32 gigs right here. And I'm just going to run it at, since I only have 1 card, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to put it at 16. Hit set. Okay. It's going to tell you to restart, and it will not take effect until you restart. No, I don't want to restart. I'll restart later. Let's check our miner, see how we're doing. Still at 1,000. This is skewed, but I don't know. It's pretty solid. So when you're mining with your CPU, if you have an AES enabled CPU, you can enable lock pages, and that's going to give you about a 20% boost of your CPU hash rate. And how to do that on Windows, you're just going to go down here to the search bar, go to run, open run, and you're going to open this right here, gpedit .msc, hit OK. You're going to go to computer configuration, Windows settings, security settings, local policies, user rights assignment, and go down to lock pages in memory. This is here because I've already done it, but you're going to hit add user group, and basically you're just, whatever the name of your computer is, like my computer name is Hef, so I just hit Hef, check name, it automatically add that to the end. So whatever this right here is, you can just paste it down here and then just hit backslash whatever your username is to log in your computer. If you don't log in at all it's going to be is just this part right here. And put it down here, hit OK, you have to restart. After restart your miner. Let me show you what it looks like. Like with XMRig, it'll tell you at the top if you have enabled. See, huge pages, available, enabled. So I'm good to go right there. Let's see what else. Season. far as setting up your wallet and stuff, you just need to download from the Trtl website, trtlcoin.lol. Download, I think they have it set up now where all the wallets are good for the new algorithm change at block 350,000. But if not, you need to go and do that. I'm currently using, I use CLI most of the time. I downloaded this just to show you guys what's up. But this is the Trtl Nest wallet. It's pretty simple to use. You just open your wallet up. It'll start syncing the wallet. And then it'll tell you your address here. So once you get your address, you can just copy it. Go back into XMR STAK, pools, and then you can just post it here. And then to do the static difficulty, you just add the number at the end of your wallet address. And I know I use mine together. You can get mad at me all you want, but it's the most stable pool right now. Least amount of forks. I don't want to use it. I want to use a small pool. I really do, but it's just I can't right now. It's just too many drops and having to come in and change everything all the time. So that's what I use for right now. I got the current set on kryptonite, and to be kryptonite light here in a couple days. Trying to think if there's anything else. No, I guess that's it. So if you guys have any other questions, just holler at me in the Discord. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.